Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're going to be taking a look at Dewalt, the #1 non-Korean Protoss player, going up against Shinee, one of the kings of the ladder. These two, I feel like, have pretty good games against each other. I think Dewalt's style goes reasonably well against Shinee. Shinee still does a little bit... Well, I haven't watched a ton of Shinee games super recently, so I'm sure he's shifting a little bit, but, you know, he still is... The TVPs I'm remembering of him right now are a little bit more old-styled, and Dewalt plays a very modern PVT, which does generally a little bit better against the older style. Like, if you're going more upgrade Terran-esque, it's a little bit harder to play against someone who's going to go speed shuttle Reaver into 3 base, you know, 8 to 10 gateway, mass zealot type of thing. So, let's see how it goes down. We're going to be playing here on Polypoid, great 4-player map. I'm actually still enjoying getting Polypoid. You know, I thought I'd be tired of it by now. I don't think it's as good as some of the other 4-player maps. Actually, right now, I like Polestar more than Polypoid. It actually feels much more interesting. Obviously, Polypoid's been out for years and years and years now, but still a good map. You know, those high ground third bases, really, that's where Polypoid gives you its value as a completely different map from other maps. So yeah, no big complaints here from me. They are vertical spawns. Looks like Dewalt going to forego scouting to optimize his build in the early game a little bit. I'm sure probe will come out eventually. And Shinee, not going for like a gaseous expansion or anything. He's generally a little bit more technical as a Terran player, so not too surprised to see that. You know, while we wait for these guys to kind of scout each other, I want to thank you guys just for being here, for watching the videos, for enjoying StarCraft 1, the greatest game ever made. I think that's becoming truly obvious. It doesn't matter what games you like. If you look at like the amazingness that is Brood War, how long it's been around, the pro scene, the variance of strategies, the level of skill, it's pretty hard to try to argue that any other video game is anywhere near here. But thank you for checking it out. Please do subscribe if you have not. Like the video, you know, leave comments, stuff like that. That stuff really helps. You know, ArtosisCasts has been growing thanks to you guys doing these types of things and kind of interacting with the video a little bit. It gets YouTube to share the video more and all that, and it's really helpful. So thank you. Okay, that's a very fast Nexus, so that's gonna be no range, and in fact no goon. So that's it's not really risky, and especially not for Shinee. And the ID that Shinee's on here, yeah, I think he's aware it's Shinee as well. But yeah, this is like, if Terran was doing like an aggressive opener here, you could be in some trouble. But there's not like a lot of super aggressive openers. But like, for instance, if you were to open this and do like a 3 depot, go up to 5 Marines, 1 Vulture and attack, you would actually do reasonably well against him, because he's going to have like 1 goon with the second goon about to pop when you get down here. But Shinee actually scouts Dewalt last. That's the very first Dragoon finding him. And you see he does start to move out a little bit. Some sort of misclick right there. That's not where he meant to put those. He might have been trying to attack move up to here. And he might have even been checking if that was the second Dragoon because of the timing. But if you look at the health of the Nexus, you can tell that that's the first one. But sometimes it's hard to put that all together in game, especially, you know, if you're not 100% dialed in like tournament mode. But yeah, sometimes you'll push out with your little group of Marines with the Vulture just to make sure the Vulture gets by. Anyways, mine's on the way. He has picked off that probe. He actually is going bunker, which I'm a little bit surprised on that. Oh, he's making armory. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind. My bad. So the bunker pairs well with the armory that you see right here, because he's going to be so light on units, and he's trying to make just some Vultures to like lay mines at expansions and in the path that it's, you know, Dewalt might walk towards him. Whereas, let's say you were going to go second factory here, you would probably just forego the bunker. When they go for such a late range expand, they can't walk their goons across the map because you have mines up. Whereas sometimes they'll walk their goons across the map if they have range to make sure you have a bunker, hit it a few times, then walk home before the mines get done. Yeah, there's basically like to expand without range versus with range. Your range finishes about 35 seconds quicker if you go range before the expansion. So it gives you this little window of pressure where Terran really needs a bunker. Whereas in this type of situation, as you can see, he doesn't really need the bunker, but this might end up saving him at some point too. Like, it's not that much money just to be very safe. And something I've actually noticed amongst high-level ladder Terrans, I was actually just watching just various, like, 2300 plus MMR ladder Terrans. Almost every single Terran, every game, no matter what they see, makes a bunker. Whereas if you watch like pro games, they're looking to skip the bunker as many times as possible. And technically it's better if you can skip. But yeah, just a little side note. I love the intricacies of how different positions are played differently at slightly different levels or in different circumstances. It's just awesome. Okay, so Dewalt here. This is weird. I'm not sure why he has a probe up here. He might be sneaking a Nexus, but he is going for a Reaver with speed on the shuttle. Second gateway coming up. I think he's going to hide a Nexus top right, which is super, super sneaky. No? Maybe a pylon here? I don't know. I don't know what this probe is all about. I mean, if you have a probe on the map, you can just send it around and scout some. It's unbelievably rare for a Terran to hide a base. Normally, Terrans only do that if they get really far behind. But it, you know, peace of mind, I guess. Checking. All right, drops the Reaver out here to just kill that first vulture. Generally better to do that than not. You might look at that and say, oh, should he not show that he has a vulture? I mean, a Reaver? Nah, it's kill the vulture. Terran would rather not lose that vulture because they're already defending against Reaver drop. You just have to already defend. You can't just be like, oh, I'm not going to defend unless I see a Reaver. That's not a thing. All right, so Siege is up a tank. Going to drop out these Zealots and try to get some good Scarabs in here. Oh, good targeting there from Shinee. A little bit late taking the shot from Dewalt. Gets an okay Scarab. But so far, good defense from Shinee. Goliath range on the way. Third factory. He has those comsats up and ready. We'll see if he's going to focus on scouting with the comsats, or is he going to focus on picking off observers? Definitely a lot of high-level Terrans love to pick off those observers early on. Really taxes the robotics production. Like, if you kill 2 observers for someone to go on Reaver with Speed Shuttle, it's a lot harder for them to hit their timings where they're, like, flying with Speed Shuttles, for instance, while you're taking another base, that type of thing. Now, Dewalt actually sees where most of the Goliaths are and goes for a little Reaver dive in here. This is actually very good. He's going to get that tank. That's insane. Shinee let that sit there because he knew it might get caught, and it did get caught there. That's crazy. He should have killed that tank. And then his Dragoons couldn't attack. That's actually such a big move that he didn't move that. The biggest move is sometimes literally not moving. It's like when the T-Rex is coming after you, stand very still. When the Scarab's going after you, just stand there. It got hooked on the SCV and unable to pass. All right, picks up another Reaver back at home. There is an observer in the main base watching. He's going to see the 6th factory, so we should see Dewalt go up to minimum 8 gateways. I wouldn't mind seeing 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's the initial 8. He already has Zealot legs in the way. Dewalt's basically playing perfectly here, if you ask me. Like, he's just putting out a superb game. And we'll see if he adds those additional gates. I honestly don't know how Protosses decide the gate count that they want. Because it's like, I think it just has to do with how quickly they want to try to take a 4th. Because, like, let's say you add 2 more gates here. You have to, like, literally stop production of probes a bit. You know, you get more units, obviously. And the Nexus is going to maybe come a little bit later. If you go 8 gates, the hold might be a little bit harder to do, but you're going to be able to build into your economy. So it's, you know, I think 8 gates is the more Gosu play, but the thing is, if you stop a 5 or 6 fact from Terran, you basically win the game already. So Dewalt is getting ready for that 4th base off of the 8 gates. Yeah, well, what I was saying, it's funny because I'm like, I don't know how they make that decision. Then I describe what the decision kind of entails. But, like, for each player, I'm wondering, is it just a stylistic thing? Like, you feel more or less confident holding in that? Or you're going for a win harder? That type of thing? Yeah. Anyways. Okay, sieging up. Getting ready to push this all back. Zealot legs are done. I don't foresee this working unless Dewalt really screws up. If you just jump back a couple times with the Reavers and slow this down, mass up your speed Zealots, there's going to be an opportunity, I think, to take a really good engagement. You can see how optimized this push is, that he does not even have Vulture speed as of yet. He actually should have started that by now, so I think at this point it's a little bit of a mistake. But a lot of times when you're doing a push like this, you don't need Vulture speed early. You get siege mode, and then Goliath range in this type of situation where you skip turrets and then mines, and yeah, speed comes very last. So it is important that he really builds up a huge unit count. I would say generally when they have Zealot legs, if you are deciding, okay, I'm going to attack, in my opinion, you need about 20 Vultures. If you have less than that, the Zealots are going to run you over. Like, look at this. A 50 supply advantage for Dewalt, although about 18 is in workers. Now he sets up... Oh, okay. I'm happy that he's setting up like this, because I'm like, I really don't think this will work. But Dewalt's going to attack anyways. And the speed Zealots, you can see, like, they are getting right on top of those siege shanks. Oh my god. He's just so low on Vultures right now. And Dewalt is pounding through him. Jesus. In the sieged position, nonetheless. Obviously, these five Vultures being home would have helped against that a lot. That is the kind of frustrating situation where that happens. You're like, damn it, am I not allowed to move out? Like, he produced a lot of units here, for sure. Okay, Shinee pulling all the way back. He's going to have to restart that third command. Now, the one thing we can say, right? Like, when you hold this... Dewalt spent his whole army doing that. And he spent most of his economy all game making that whole army. The fourth base is going to get mining, but is not mining as of yet. So there's still, like, a little bit of play here left for Shinee. Not a lot. I don't want to pretend like Shinee's fine and this game is going to be all roses for Terran. But, you know, he's trying to push out here once again. He'll probably do a full-out attack now. Since he killed the many rounds that came out of these, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of other options. Like, taking a third command center this late into the game when Dewalt's on 4 bases is always going to lose. By the way, Dewalt getting ready to expand to this top right corner. So if we get into a super messy game, that might be hard to... Oh, he's going to make the command center? I can't see this ever winning. And I wonder if it's worth even practicing this position. Maybe it is. Like, I guess we'll see how this goes. Maybe Shinee feels like he's good enough to continue to outplay Dewalt at every turn. The thing is, okay, this is a great find. This is a great find because... the fifth base is like the most important thing Dewalt can do right now, and by slowing this down, that's like really annoying. And he gets rid of the probes. It's going to take a while to get cannons up there. That's actually really annoying for Protoss. But yeah, it's just like Shinee's economy is very slow this game, and Dewalt's is pretty much on time. He does need his fifth base, and yeah, he has a fifth Nexus making, but are you going to send your probes up here with no real defense? How do you get those across the map? Like, if I'm Shinee, I'm so on top of trying to block probes coming across right now and slow down the mining at this fifth. Sending a bunch of Vultures. I guess Dewalt's going to try to clear these with the Reaver. With good micro, you might be able to, but this is how you do it. You lay mines all around the Nexus, so there's nowhere to land the Reaver. Okay, he cancels the Nexus, realizing what's going on here and how difficult that's going to be. So that is very annoying. He starts the fifth base again at the bottom right. Shinee, oh man, he had lost his barracks before, so he can't make more factories yet. He does have the science facility, so he can start +2. Templar Archives, he does have the double forge as well. Lots of mines up here, which is kind of nice. Has some mines here. So he's going to know that this is likely the next base, and he is going to go down and check it. This is actually really nice to cancel out these cannons. Dewalt kind of feels stuck in the mud right now. I feel like and see how this Zealot's running through there? He just hasn't had really great vision of the whole map. Like, he's kind of just kept an eye on Terran and kept, like, a little bit of an arc. But, like, because he had to send the Zealot through and make sure there's not mines in the way and stuff like that, you know, he's just a little bit slow responding to these moves. And, you know, was this a risk he didn't need to take up there? I actually kind of liked it as an idea, but because I didn't think it would get scouted. And then it got scouted, and then you're like, well, yeah. Well, that's why we don't do that regularly. Because if we did, it wouldn't work, because we'd know to scout it, but Shinee scouted it anyways. Okay, so Dewalt right now has 2 shuttles full of speed Zealots. And nothing in this one. I don't know about an attack into the entrenched position, but it is 193, 133. So any trades here are probably good for Dewalt. Yeah, he should... Oh, he's being dragged to the left. Very, very messy stuff, but he gets enough Zealots on top of these siege tanks. Yeah, it looks like it's going to work out for him anyways. I kind of like the idea. Oh, I kind of like the idea of getting up here and killing all these tanks. And if he had shoved his army up there, I think he would have killed that all very quickly. But he actually ends up just killing everything. That looks like game to me. Yeah, 92 supply, 37 SCVs. I can't imagine Shinee staying in this game. Like, I guess he has the 2 command centers. And yeah, he has 2-2, like, coming along. But Dewalt is taking bottom right. Everything looks super far ahead for him right now. Yeah, I guess Dewalt will come up, clear some of these mines out, kind of watch. Looks like he wants to get some Psy Storms off. Not great Psy Storm drops. But he has so much that he can spare. Look at this. He's up like almost twice as many workers, almost twice as much supply as well. I guess we're just waiting for the finishing move right now. Probably just unload these shuttles up there as you attack move in. It's pretty Dragoon heavy, so the tanks should fare reasonably well there. Oh, good Psy Storm onto those vultures. It's reminding me of the Maid versus Rain game, where it's like, well, I mean, every Terran knows they're not going to win from here. And again, I do question how worthwhile it is to practice this position, because like you'll get into this position if you're in a tournament, you shouldn't leave, but like, like. No one really comes back from this position unless you're super low ranked, because then you and your opponent can make so many mistakes. You know, in a game like this, it's like even if Dewalt attacks poorly, he's got so much more, it doesn't really matter. Well, these shuttles coming up. I'm going to be able to erase these tanks. Shinee continuing to try to reposition at his 88 supply with 33 workers. Like, seriously. GG. Okay. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, okay, so I do want to, if you're still here, I guess thank you for that. I want to just jump back and show something here. Because I mentioned at the beginning, the reason why I thought Dewalt matches up pretty well against Shinee is that Shinee plays kind of still an older style and Dewalt plays very modern style, which is good at punishing that. And I said specifically, you know, if you're doing kind of an upgrade Terran-esque build and your opponent makes, you know, I literally said, didn't I say, like, Reavers with speed shuttle into 3 base, mass zealots. It's very hard to do anything. And that's literally exactly what we saw here. This was very fast armory. Goes up to 5 factories. And he makes quite a few Goliaths here. And then goes into a second add-on. So, like, basically his overall vulture count's kind of low. It's like, yeah, there's some Reaver harassment stuff too. Yeah, that's all well and good. But if you look at the army he's making, like, more modern styles, you'll probably have, like, the armory a little bit later. You'll have a little bit heavier vultures. You'll be more missile turret-oriented rather than Goliath-oriented. And the thing is, a lot of that's stylistic and everything. But this type of play against this type of play with the mass zealots coming out is very hard. And that's a part of the reason why this all changed. But, like, this is... See, he lays some mines. Okay. He's thinking about an attack and everything. He rotates vultures. And then with the vultures out of position, Dewalt just attacks because he's not going to have a better attack than that. And look at this. The thing is, even if you have these vultures up there, so then you'd have 10. Look how many zealots there are. You definitely need a lot of mines, for sure. The barracks is really good. The barracks actually sucked up like 300 damage. But yeah, canceling that out. Anyways, it's kind of a little bit of an antiquated style from Shinee, and you're still going to win games with it. You know, there's no patches that have occurred, so, like, these things that we figured out, they're still good, and if you do them well, that's the most important part. But you do have to look at, like, the metagame and what's popular and why it's popular, and I feel like Shinee doesn't really do that much. He's kind of... Most players are stuck in their ways. You know, you get really good doing something, you keep doing it. And we actually see a lot of players that rise and fall based on if their style is good for the metagame. Noni once said to me, he's like, yeah, well, if you say the same thing forever, eventually you'll be right. You know? And it was in reference to StarCraft and, like, we were talking something about strategy, and I thought that was actually really intelligent. God, he was really one of the smartest players ever. But, like, that, I feel like that is oftentimes the case. Like, if a more upgrade-centric approach comes, or our metagame comes where Protoss gets weaker to that, Shinee will suddenly shoot up in strength. And it's not because he got a lot better right there. It's because his style's working a bit better. Okay, whatever. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about that. We'll see you next time.